Hello, welcome to Hydescience Lab Series number 10, Kool-Aid Chromatography. So we're going to be using today we're going to kind of go to a more advanced technique of chromatography. I'll be using one of these. This is a, can you get it focused? This is a C18 set pack. And inside of this there are these resin beads that are non-polar inside of this, so it will separate a substance based on its properties, its polar or non-polar properties. Today we're going to be looking at grape Kool-Aid and the ink or the properties of the dyes used within this Kool-Aid packet. And we're going to refine them, we're going to separate them. I'm going to show every step, just kind of give you a general rundown of what's going on. So let's get going. Alright, so here we go. So the first step of this lab is students have to use the dilution formula, which is this, C1V1 equals C2V2, and they have to calculate and mix their own solutions of 5% and 25% propanol alcohol, which is just rubbing alcohol, isopropyl, but they have to calculate that, how to use a stock solution to make a working solution in the lab. So that's the first step of this, and once they've done that, we've got a couple other little things to do, but we get to this point here where we have a syringe. Inside of the syringe is our grape Kool-Aid, and then we have our set back here. So we're going to slowly push the Kool-Aid through. So as we do this, you should see this color of the set pack changing. It was white, and now we are starting to get that purple color at the top of the lab, or at the top of the set pack. So those beads are holding that dye in, and it's running clear. So as you can see, even though we pushed purple Kool-Aid through our first test tube, the liquid that is eluted is clear. So now we're just going to kind of pop this set pack off, pull the plunger, and we're going to add some of this 5% alcohol. So here's our 5%. We're going to add 10 mils of our alcohol to the syringe. Oh man. What we really need to do is put the set pack on first, which I did not do in my hurry. So let's try that again. So we're going to take 10 mils of our 5%, put it in our syringe, put the plunger back in, and we're going to run this through. Get this wet paper out of the way. Sorry about that. So now we're going to go to our next test tube. So this is 5% alcohol. This set pack is still here, and we're going to push this through. Now if you can see that what is being eluted is not clear, it is red. So our 5% alcohol that is being pushed through is pulling the red dye out of the purple Kool-Aid. And if we look up here at our set pack, it is turning blue. So this is after running 5% through. So we're just going to run that process back one more time. So this time I am going to put my set pack on first. We still are going with the 5% alcohol. We can pipette that up first. Alright, now we're going to catch what is eluted here as well. So we're starting to see it clear to a little blue tint to our elution. So that is what we captured. I don't know if we can see this. We see it better if we put it under white. Now we're going to move to our 25% alcohol. So So the properties of the alcohol and the properties of the dye, this is what we are looking for here. This is what we are analyzing as we go through, and we see this with the 25% alcohol, the results are coming out much more blue. And the last one had a little blue tint to it because there's not a huge difference there, but the differences in polarity is what we have. So that is this lab. So we can see that our purple Kool-Aid was made of blue and red dyes. They have their different properties. We can see now that our set pack has began back to white, and we would clean this out. So that's kind of the conclusion of the lab activity. So the next thing we would do is analyze our results, and we would complete our lab report. So just real quick, I have an example report of what an A would look like. So this is kind of our finalized lab report. We have our overall overview, safety, background notes. We have our calculations. This is where we calculated how to make our 5% and 25% alcohol solutions. We have some pre-lab questions, some vocab. This is our results of our data in the actual experience itself. And then we have some post-lab questions. So that's going to wrap it up for Lab Series 10, Kool-Aid Chromatography. See y'all next time.